I almost said the black man, the Batman that nobody asked for, Black Batman. Now look, I know some of y'all are like, oh man, you know, I be sort of rubbing it in people's face when I'm right about shit like this. But look, I'm an actual comic book guy. I'm not a guy that just gets outraged about shit. I got all the receipts, bro. You'll be hard pressed to find another motherfucker that's reading more of these than I am, okay? So I'm actually connected to the game. And when you understood the direction that this shit was going, you already knew. You should have already known. And they talked about it in DC's fandom, about this new sort of iteration. You saw Jim Lee, who is complicit in all this. I don't care how great of an artist he is. When it comes to him being like in a leadership role, he has no idea what the fuck he's doing. All this garbage that you've seen churned out by DC Comics over the course of the last years, he's either been directly responsible for it, or he's in a fake leadership position, and he is helpless in stopping it. But I doubt that it's the latter, considering that, well, he's been speaking so positively about these actions. They talked about this new iteration of Batman, right? That was happening. And, you know, we knew that it was going to be a black Batman. That was what Future State was. I told y'all, right? I told y'all. Nobody fucking listens to me because they think, oh, he's just one of those outraged reactionary YouTubers. Like, dog, I know it doesn't even take a rocket scientist to figure any of this stuff out. And of course, as the media talks about it, the access media, what are they talking about? Black, his color, because that's the only reason he fucking exists. He doesn't exist. This isn't authentic. This isn't like some sort of organic. No, that's not what this is. They specifically wanted to try to highlight the fact that this man was black because they wanted a black iteration of a classically white character. They did it with Flash. We got a non-binary Flash now that nobody fucking asked for, right? Because the talentless hacks, let's start there, right? These guys are talentless hacks. And I don't care. I know someone's probably going to be, well, the person that's writing this I don't give a shit. It does not take talent at all to sit here and take an established character that already exists, that we're already familiar with, race swap him, and then the only reason he exists is because of the fact that he's a race swapped version of the character. I didn't even like Batwing or Signal. I didn't want them to exist. I don't want a black version of a bat person. Like, I'm not interested in that. I'm not. Is it going to kill you to come up with a new fucking character? Is it that difficult? Possibly, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So what they don't want to do is put these other characters through the mill, namely black characters, ironically, which is hilarious. Like, well, you should be proud of the representation. First of all, dipshit. These are fictional characters, right? I'm not putting my livelihood in the fact that these characters exist. I don't need to see another black character to exist. Batman, and this is why it's dear to me, because Batman is my favorite character as an adult. I don't want to see a black version of him. I'm not interested. Batman's Bruce Wayne, period. It's Bruce Wayne. It's all. That's who Batman is. Okay. I don't care. Well, it's just a suit. Other Robins have filled the suit for a moment. Don't give a fuck. Batman is Bruce Wayne. Period. That's who he is. Okay? I'm not interested in seeing a black version of him. Now, as indicative on my wall, if you have not seen it, I have black characters all over the damn wall. Right? Especially over there. And we got Misty over there. You kind of can't see it. Not in the shot. We got Storm. We got Bishop, who you can see right behind me right there. We got Brother Voodoo. Like, there are black characters that I know and love. Right? You can develop them, or you can, and I know some of them that I just named were from other like Marvel, but I have like Vixen, like, in my other room in the big studio, I got that big Vixen poster. Like, these are characters that I'm more than familiar with, and you can either develop them or, I don't know, create a new one. Always an option, but not to them. No. And who they are trying to cater this to they're not comic book buyers. Comic books have been suffering, and these guys are too arrogant to understand why. They're too arrogant to understand why. Comic books suffer. Only a select few of them sell. And generally they are like the Detective Comics, the Batmans of the world, right? And they sit here and they're like, our books aren't selling. Maybe we just, I don't know, need to race swap some characters and that'll get people interested. The only people interested in that shit are the fucking normies who sit there and will cosplay characters and fucking on Instagram, and they'll take pictures and make stan accounts and shit. And they may even buy issue 1, never read it, but take a picture just to say they had it. But they're not going to be your every Wednesday shopper at the comic book shop, right? And I encourage y'all. I told y'all this, right? The only people that ask generally is white SJWs that ask for this dumb shit anyway. But there's a lot of black folks who will sit up here and foam at the mouth in the event that a historically white character got turned to black, and they think, well, it could be cool. And all they want to really do now is just try to, because the argument was usually that it was a canon, and now they're going to try to canonize it. So there's going to be a black Batman that appears in like a film, and now all of their normies who never even read this Future State book will be like, well, after I Googled, according to my Google, actually there was a black Batman in 2021 DC's Future State Batman. Actually, that's the type of shit that they'll do, having known they never read the book, but that's the type of stuff that they're into. And then, as we had showed, there's a community of weirdos who get off on that shit. Y'all remember I did that video talking about, ironically, most of them are redheads. And these people's like, they're sitting here bragging about the fact that, Little Mermaid and all of these comic book characters, Wally West, going into Black Wally West, going into all these characters that had been race swapped, and they're like, who's next type of shit. They get off on that, right? They get off on that. But this is lazy. This is whack as fuck. It's corny as hell. And if you one of those weird old wet black dudes foaming at the mouth because you wanted to see a black Batman, let's understand what you're saying, right? You're not saying that people need to see a black character. What you're actually saying is the only characters that are legitimate are the white ones. That's what you saying, not me. And again, these would be the same crackheads in the comments section calling me coon or house nigga or some shit like that because I speak against this tokenization, right? Meanwhile, the only characters that they see as legitimate are the Batmans of the world, are the white characters. So instead of, creating a new one, they would much rather race swap them. Well, when the characters were created, they were just so many white characters. Okay, make a fucking new one. Is that gonna kill you? Or, utilize the black ones that already exist. There's 2 big encyclopedias that I got over there, both DC and Marvel. They're massive, both of them. And you could just cycle through them and you can see the vast amounts of different characters that have existed that are not iterations of other characters that are black, that are, Asian, that are Hispanic. And they could develop them if that was something that they want to do, but no, because they know that that's the type of stuff y'all get off on. They'll dangle this little tokenization bone and you eat it up every time. But you're not going to buy the book. The book's not going to do shit. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these guys are doing stuff for like TV now. That seems to be the direction that DC is going now, especially that they write books, unfortunately, just to have them be talked about in cinema, right? Or on a TV show or on a movie or what have you. Which is, again, this is probably what's going to happen out of this. So you can go ahead and bookmark this video. If there's a black Batman, they're going to refer to this. If there's a black Batman, black Bruce Wayne, or even if it's a black Bruce Wayne, though, this may not be Bruce, but even if it was, they'll say, well, this happened back then. They did it with Superman, right? Because you got Calvin Ellis or Val Zod, right? Well, actually, again, none of those guys read the books. Of course, I know more about these characters than they do, but just actually, there was a black Superman that existed, blah, 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 that I just Googled on DC Fandom Wikipedia. Shit's lazy. Nobody asked for it. Maybe weirdos asked for it. But I don't see this ever stopping. Because like I said, I think they've gone and conceded that they don't write books for actual comic book readers. They write books for blue-haired weirdos that aren't at the comic books, that don't even own a short or a long box. That doesn't even exist. They don't even know what that is. I'm speaking like another language to them when I say that. That's who they're appealing to. And there's a lot of folks that are very loud on these forms of social media that'll be loud and say, yes, snap, yes, queen, slay. As they got their black bat man. They did it with the black bat woman, right? But they won't buy the books. And that's still where the frustrating part, because the books suffer. And I already told y'all, it'd be a similar thing with what they do with Miles Morales. I would not be surprised if they bring, this future state sort of different thing. I would not be surprised if they bring some of these characters that exist in, just because they exist in another dimension or future timeline does not mean they won't bring them there. What do you think the Batman Who Laughs is from? And in the previous, even they got Dark Knight's Metal that came out, or Black Metal, or whatever that storyline has recently just I think it's still going. They're still putting out these Tales of the Dark multiverse books out. You don't think that they wouldn't bring these fools to the main universe? Are you fucking stupid? They did it with Miles and Marvel. Should have died with the Ultimate Universe. Nope. What happened? Brought him into the main universe, and now he's everybody's favorite tokenized character, even though he's just fucking black Peter Parker with Jordan 1s. People are weird. Not interested. Not interested.